I went through the whole empty nester syndrome. Lay in the bed, cry, where's my baby? I did it with Gabe. I think I was even worse with Trin because Trin helped with Gabe. So when Gabe left, Trin helped because I still had her. We still had to go. And then it was coming on her senior year. So you had all the things for senior year. So I didn't get the opportunity to just stay in the bed for weeks. Like,
it's showtime. It's showtime. Guess who's back again? And they don't know. They don't know.
Baby,
But they'll know as soon as we walk in. He ain't got it down yet.
Baby, that's your part.
But you're supposed to say, they don't know. No. You know, we're supposed to go back
maybe
and
next
forth.
time. Maybe next time.
Welcome to the Couples Lounge Show. I'm your girl, Candace, and this is my sexy husband.
What it do? Remon, Kappa Man, Tuck.
And so we do this every Saturday. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. Welcome. We are so glad to have you.
We got the family in the building.
We come and we talk about love, marriage, and relationships, and ain't nobody doing it like us.
Because they ain't us.
So what they need to do, baby, if
Say,
they heard
man,
something that
look,
they like.
If you do not hit the subscribe button, slap your dang face. Hit the subscribe button.
Just crazy. I tell y'all to pray for me. So this show is brought to you all by We Will Win LLC. If you know that you need support, individual coaching, couples coaching, make sure that you get it at us. You can go to www.candacetuck.com and you can find all the information there. So you say we got family in the building. We got the family.
Say, man, this is my son's second parents getaway. He eats up their food, runs their water, electricity, all that.
Yeah, he literally, literally, these are his second parents. She knows if he doing something, she know about it because he already done told her.
Yeah.
So, y'all ready?
He's ours.
He literally had a code to the door.
Yeah,
walk in the house.
Yes.
So these are good people, like good people. I'm not concerned when my child is at the house.
And let me go and say this, because I don't hold it against him because he's a good brother. But we got another member of the D9 in the building, Alpha Phi Alpha in the building. I had to throw that out there for all those that watching.
So y'all are empty nesters, huh?
Woo!
We are.
Man.
Woo!
Man,
beautiful.
We are.
So y'all, we are said beautiful.
Beautiful.
So we are about to talk about how does being an empty nester impact your marriage. I was all crunk. I've been looking forward to these. My kids be like, "Mama, you need to have another baby." I'm gonna tell y'all right now, that is done with.
Yeah,
y'all. I'm
they
like,
missed
how
that boat.
you have about
15 years ago.
I'm like, you have a few more years and you're going to be out of here. Yeah. And I was so forward to looking and doing all the things of having an empty house. And Mom was like, we ain't going to ever be empty nesters. Yeah. I'm like, what? I just really don't consider Courtney. But the fact of the matter is, we really won't
She just going to roll with us.
Yeah.
That's it.
We really won't ever be empty nesters, but I know that it is a thing.
Absolutely.
And actually, it's called empty nester syndrome. And I'm like,
I saw that when I looked it up. I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, how long have you guys been married and how old are the children?
Ooh.
So we've been married. It will be 20 years in May.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Gabriel is 21. And Trinity is 18. Gabriel turned 21 in January. Trin will actually be Trinity will actually be 19 in June.
Yep.
Yeah.
They both are in college doing their thing. So did y'all prepare for being empty nesters?
Wait, let me tell you this story. I remember Ty was, baby, when they move out, we downsizing. We going. I think she said they was gonna be downtown. We getting us a little place.
Ooh,
Are you still in that vibe, or
Yes,
did that change once they left?
And I remember that conversation. I remember telling you we were going to have an empty nesters party and move to a high rise downtown with a maintenance man because, home owning is for the birds. But that plan well, you see, we don't quite agree on that plan.
The problem is with that plan, my idea wasn't moving into the city. It was moving further out. Give me some space.
He wants land and I want a high rise.
And she wants a high rise. So that's why that plan is kind of on.
That's why we're
it's
still
on pause
where we are.
Right now.
We're still in the house as if we still have a whole bunch of children.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm allowing him to lead the way. So if he say it's not time, it's not time.
Plus
I'm
house
trusting
market is
the
a mess.
process.
Yeah, it is.
So,
And he knows more about that market.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention like that. So we are where we are. I follow. This is what it is.
See, I never wanted to downsize. Never.
Baby, you finna take the show somewhere else.
No, but oh my God. Can you relax? We've been doing this a minute. Let's stay with me. Just stay with me.
Come on.
And here's why I say that. Because I think about my parents in Christmas. And I say because all their kids and grandkids get to come home. That's why I say I never wanted to downsize. I want one day when Mom get married, Kaya get married, their husband, their wives, and their kids. I want to look up and we got 15 people in the house. All come. To me, that would be a beautiful thing.
I'm cool with that. Now, I'm
and
also
we couldn't
cool
do
with
it if
those
we
who everybody get a
downsized.
pallet.
See, now, that's cool. I like that too.
Yeah.
I like that too. I like a getaway.
Let's go visit them.
But at the same time,
too.
I want them
That
to be
too.
established at some point because I know my parents love coming down here. They're in the Midwest. It's cold at Christmas time.
Okay.
So they love coming where it's 60, 70 degrees and leaving snow. And then they ain't got, and then of course they don't have to clean it up, put it up.
Yes,
Right.
Yes,
My mom could she's like, oh yeah, I just put up a little tree on the table.
Right.
So
And send us all the Christmas stuff.
and then they come that way. They come here.
Okay.
So I like that part of it. But at the same time, like I said, a high rise though.
Yeah, you can't go
I need
wrong
some
with
space.
it.
You can't go wrong, but I need a house though.
But I think everybody, when you first think about empty nesting, it is to downsize. I think my mind frame was let's downsize, be empty nesters, downsize. We don't need all these rooms. I don't have to clean all these rooms. And financially. So my mind frame still goes back to no struggle.
Right.
Whereas, his mind frame is a little different when it comes to a struggle.
I think, and I think most of it is now, if you look at like pre-COVID, and a few years before that, the housing market was just different.
Yeah.
And now just the cost of downsize. Well, the house we have now, we would spend more money downsize.
Right.
So that's that's the financial side of it. For me, it's like, well, ain't no point.
Right. Because the kids are not totally out your pockets
And
yet.
they're not totally out of our pockets.
They're not
That's
out
the
their pockets yet.
totally out of our
Yes,
At
house
18,
either.
you're done. No,
Yeah,
ma'am.
no, not at all.
This parenting adult children is way harder.
Yeah.
And that is a whole
That's a whole
nother
nother show.
Yeah, it
That
is.
That's a whole nother show.
Wow,
nother
that
show.
is.
The
I didn't
parenting
Yes.
Adult children.
kids.
Empty
Yes.
nesting is still
Because that
parenting.
is still a transition.
Yes.
They're no longer necessarily have to listen to you. They are going to listen to you.
Right.
But I want to know, now that y'all are empty nesters,
Yes.
what is the first thing that surprised you about this new phase?
Good question.
I think just the idea, like you were saying before, the idea of nesting, hey, downsize, we're going to just do this and do that.
Live our best
Live our best life. And then the reality is that you still got to live life. Yeah. You still got to get up, still got to go to work. There's still things to do. Now the other side to that is just how you do have a lot of free time. Especially for us, like parents, I've known you guys since our boys were 6. Right. We've always been busy. If one season we're baseballing, next season we're footballing, we're basketballing, we're summer tracking, we're gymnasticking with the girls, we're, dance or whatever it is. Then they get to high school and we're all over the place, and then
It's gone.
it's gone.
It's done.
I think for us, it and you guys are seeing that now. It's kind of happens kind of in phases when your kids are different ages, but at some point that stops. So it's like, okay, what do we do now? And then I think the other part is just when you don't have kids, you don't have, if you don't have little kids, you know how that transition when they get older and they kind of go about their way, they come in the house, you don't see them, but there's still some noise in the house.
It's
Now,
quiet. It's
now it's
quiet.
quiet. I mean, it's quiet. It's like
It's
church
real
mouse quiet.
Mm-hmm.
If you walk in our house when we're getting home from work, you're the first person home from work. It's like you walk in and it's just like if we stop talking in here, you like.
And it actually smells different.
It's just weird. Yeah,
I don't know
it's
if
a
you've
different
noticed,
vibe.
but it smells different to me too. So when I walk in now, I don't smell. I know it sounds weird, Gabe. I don't smell
We don't
Trent.
have
It
musty bodies
smells
coming in the
no.
house. And
It actually smells a little stale. Like I'm like, oh, put another plug in or
plus,
something.
but the other thing
It's
is
just
you
different.
got to. I mean, we literally, we have an upstairs, downstairs. We have 2 units in the house. Like the upstairs unit, I ain't turned that unit on since Christmas time. In
It's
4
just
months,
different.
I mean, I just turned up because who's up there?
I would tell y'all, like, when I posted the question on Facebook,
Yeah, we saw
the impact of
comments.
empty
I saw that.
nesters,
I saw
the different comments of
Comments,
some
yeah.
people. It's amazing we're traveling the world.
Yeah, yeah.
Some people
It ended
we
their
could
marriage.
could not find our way because our focus was so much
It's
on
the
our kids
Yeah.
that once it was about us, we realized we didn't know each other.
Right.
And
right.
so either some people took the time to say, let's rebuild, let's find each other out again, or
Yeah.
it was like, it's time to go, I'm
Yeah.
out, or one person didn't want to do the work. I remember one lady said their whole goal was, we got to stay married so our kids are not a statistic. They're not raised separately, and we parented that well and we did it, but we forgot about us during that whole time, and they marriage did end. So in the quietness, and how has it impacted y'all, or how have y'all had to say, okay, we got to, did y'all feel like y'all had to
Yes,
learn each other?
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I think for me, I went through the whole empty nester syndrome. Lay in the bed, cry. Where's my baby? I did it with Gabe. I think I was even worse with Trin because Trin helped with Gabe. So when Gabe left, Trin helped because I still had her. We still had to go. And then it was coming on her senior year. So you had all the things for senior year. So I didn't get the opportunity to just stay in the bed for weeks. Like, you had a few days, get up, let's go. Because I got cheer practice. Like, you got to sign these papers and I need a physical. Whereas when she left, Gabe was already gone. So I spent more time in the bed. I get off work, I lay in the bed. He come home after practice, it's already like 8 and I'm like in the bed because I didn't know what to do. And as far as our marriage, for us, I know we met at 18. So we did the kind of grow up together thing that some couples do, and then decided to have the children. But once, maybe a year before Gabriel left, I think just being a counselor, I knew, and kind of like you said, the comments that you saw, I knew something was coming. I didn't know how to prepare for it though, so I still ended up in the bed. But I think I focused more on trying to prepare our marriage afterwards than trying to prepare just myself. So I focused more on, hey, gee, I think when the kids go out, what are we going to be doing? And at first, I feel like he kind of blew me off and was like, we'll be fine. It's nothing. But then I think he started seeing, oh, wait, maybe not, because we've done so much with them. And who we were at 18 and fell in love and started having kids at what, 21, 24, excuse me.
25, yeah.
I like to think I'm younger. 24 and 25, we're not those same people. So we've changed and we've grown from 25 to now. And during that growth, we were with the children, so I didn't see some of the things that changed with him and some of the growth. I knew the big stuff with, oh, he got a new job or he got a different position. That's big. That's
We
big.
don't know that
But
internal
But
change
there you
that's
that
go.
going on.
internal change, like I don't like to just sit right here anymore like that. Like I like to do this, and I think it's switched because I'm more of the, I want to go now, go now, and he's more like, let's nestle, we empty nesters, let's nestle. And I'm like, no, I want to go. We've been So I'm not, I don't know. That's a big aha moment for me. Just some of the things that he no longer likes, and I was like, wait, well, you used to love that. When did that change? And I think even for me, when I'm like, oh gee, I can't really eat that anymore. I'll break out. Since when? When you stop eating spaghetti? Yeah, the red sauce tears up my stomach. Don't cook that. But when the kids were there, go ahead and cook that because they like that. So you make do. I don't think he even noticed that I don't eat it. I don't really eat it.
God, you go so many different places with what
Yeah.
you just said. But come on, G.
Well, I think that, when you're getting close to that point where the kids are getting ready to go, I remember me being more excited
He's so sexy.
for both of the kids. Everybody's like, oh, you're going to drop your baby girl off. You're going to cry. I was like, no, I'm not. And I didn't. Was I sad? A little bit. You miss your kids. I was more excited. And I think I said this before. We spend 18 years from the time you bring them home to the time you drop them off to pre-K and kindergarten, and you go to all these little things, and you're hoping that you instilling the right things in them so that they'll make the right decisions. For that 2 hours of setting up, cleaning up, decorating, hugs, kisses, goodbye, we down the highway. And from that point, when you drop them off, it's like, for me, it was like, I'm ready to see if we did it. We spent all that time. I'm ready to see if we did it.
Not me.
I was so excited just to see, man, it's more of an accomplishment. Our babies have gone to school. They've done well. They've accomplished a lot of their own personal goals. It's not like they out here. There's a whole different direction.
Absolutely.
Lives could have taken
go.
that they
Right.
could have gone.
Right.
They're both going to college. And not that, both of us, we're both college graduates.
HBCU life.
HBCU college graduates at that. And both of our kids are at HBCUs.
HBCUs, absolutely.
But for me, it was more the excited part. So when we got, it wasn't so much worrying about the kids. I remember this one right here. We dropped Gabriel off. we're
Oh my
so
goodness.
we ain't even out of Oklahoma City good.
No.
And she comes, we just left him there.
And that's how
How
we
did we
feel.
just leave? And I said, girl, we've been raising this boy for 18 years.
Man.
We have done what we can. We have shown him right from wrong, and he should know right from wrong.
No, that's not
So-
how I
Did you,
felt.
when she was having her emotional moments, did you know how to? Because I know men
No,
don't
no.
necessarily know how
For me,
to cope
I'm
with
going
the
to be
woman.
honestly, this is one of those times that I was the, girl, if you don't stop all that crying. I was like, what are you crying about? I was like, because again, my thing is we should be like, yes. That's why I was like, hey, we need to come home. Let's throw a party or something. Because look, we have, and it's crazy to me, but I look at it more of a, we've accomplished one of those goals as parents, as a family that we set out to do. We set out to make sure our kids were educated and have an opportunity. Whether they finish it out is on them, but at least have the opportunity to go into higher education and get a degree. Or or whatever they decide to do. But at least we gave them the opportunity to pursue their goals. And this is that first step. And so for me, I was like, man, we have really accomplished, we did it.
So how did y'all manage in the house with these two very different mindsets? And what you like, my baby's gone, and you're like, my baby's gone. So two different things. So how did y'all manage that together?
I'm not gonna lie, it's a struggle.
It's still a struggle.
It's still a
Like
struggle.
I don't want to sit here and be like, "Oh, we got it all."
And we
figured
don't
out.
want you to,
Yeah.
because
Hold
there's
my
some
hand,
people out
baby.
here that
We
need
got
your
it.
story.
And that's not it. It's a daily struggle. I'm still Gabriel's been gone for a few years. Trin is a freshman, and I'm still picking up some things with G that I was like, huh? That's what you and I think the biggest part of this is the communication piece. Because we are not we're not the type that I feel like he needs to text me everywhere he goes. Hey, I'm not about to come straight to the house. I'm going here first. It's common courtesy, I guess. But before, I already knew what he was doing because the kids had something. So if I look at my watch on a Tuesday and it's 6 o'clock and he hasn't come home, oh yeah, I forgot Gabriel has practice. I know that's what he's doing, or it's track, or oh, Trin had her thing at school, so he knows where I'm at. Well, now if I look at my watch and it's 7 o'clock, I'm like, on a Wednesday, why you haven't made it home yet? And I want to text and be like, where you at? But at the same time, I don't want him to feel like I don't trust you for wherever you are. You'll be home,
Right.
But so I think that was a big deal
I ain't even think.
with us coming
I
home.
didn't even think about.
No.
Y'all schooling, so we're gonna be ready. We're gonna be prepared.
Like, for real, like I think he came home one time and we sat down. I was like, hey, like I'm not saying you got to tell me exactly where you are every minute of the day, but I'm kind of expecting you to be home by this, not by a time. I don't really not say like I'm expecting you to come straight home, I guess, because we don't have nowhere to be. And we actually we've always had a shared family calendar that we kept on our phones. But we made another one that just has us and the kids are not on it. I say kids, but adult children, whatever. They're not on that calendar. So he's able to put some things in there if something has popped up or, and I can just look at it. But if it is an impromptu type thing, I think we've started doing more of a communication piece where he's like, hey, I'm going to happy hour or something. Whereas before, he could go to happy hour with friends or something and I really not even know because I'm at cheer practice. Or at driving school or something with one of them. So he would be already home before we even got home. So I never even realized he went to happy hour with the guys on Fridays or something. Where now it's real obvious because I'm at the house and the kids not here and I'm like, where you at? So that's a piece that was real hard because when you're trying to relearn some things and do some things, you still want to have that trust factor. And I felt like texting him and being like, where you at? Was me being like, I don't trust you. And that's not how I was trying to come across. So I knew that we needed to have the conversation. We have more conversations now than just the pass by. Hey, don't forget I got, when you're going out the door and like, oh yeah, I remember. Now it's literally, hey, have a seat. This is what my week is looking like. And we have this thing that on Facebook, a lot of people comment on it, is our Sunday patio time. Mm-hmm. We started it in COVID because we were all at the house. We were working together. Woo. Mm-hmm. The kids going to school, everybody in the same area. And so we started this thing where on Sunday nights, hey kids, Sunday nights, we on the patio. Don't come out here unless it's an emergency. It was just our time to be together outside of the work because we was like this working. And so it was able to change it. And we decided to continue that once they left. We just decided to continue it. And that gives us a time to say, hey, what you got going on this week that I might need to know about so that I don't have to text and say, where you at? Because he already told me Sunday he had a plan to do this on Wednesday. That helps me. Because I was so kid. My kid is gone and I don't have nothing. When I do. I have this whole man in the house with me, laying next to me every night. I can just chill with him. I feel like I'm back at 18, 19 though, trying to learn the things that he likes.
Though it's a new interesting. Let's say that interesting. Yes.
Interesting. We'll put it like that because I'm like, huh? Well, are you like who introduced you to that? Because I've never known you. So it's
but even with you saying all these things, I can see how if you are not intentional at this phase in your life, your marriage definitely could dissolve.
And I'm not gonna sit here and lie and be like it didn't cross and be like, I'm about to rely. I done already did this. We 20 some odd years in the game. He know what I like.
Yeah.
But I realize I have changed. So if I've changed, he had to have changed.
Yeah.
So if I want him to know the things that changed with me, I gotta get to know what has changed with him too. Yeah. It is interesting. Yeah. We'll put it like that. What you got
to say?
So I think the biggest thing, which I think just in marriage, period, is just communication. Like she said, when the kids were home full time, our schedules were pretty set. We knew Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, pretty much what was going on. Friday nights, hey, we at some gym, some track meet, some football game, you know, even when Gabriel left, Trent was cheering. Trent cheered and ran track. That was Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, Friday nights, and then she switched over to track. And then so we were still busy and our schedules were pretty set. And then we drop Trent off. That's again, you come home, you realize like I'm getting off work on a Friday. What do I do? I'm like, oh man, what?
And we're still
we ain't got no games. We don't have anywhere to be. So if your coworkers, hey, go to happy hour, or your friends call and say, hey, we played dominoes tonight. Used to be, I'd be like, I ain't got time to go. I got to be, right.
Yeah.
I'm that person. I kind of hesitate because I'm still in the mindset of like, I got somewhere to be.
Yes.
But I got a bunch of people to be accountable to. Right? Again.
He does that a lot.
So, I tend not to go and have to remember.
You can go.
Like, oh man, I actually can go on a Friday night or hang out with my friends or go to a fraternity function or something like that. Versus before, I was like, no, I'll see y'all. Yeah, I'll be there at some point. Or y'all know I gotta be here. Yeah. So I think that part of it, and like I said before, the communication, it's definitely a big piece. But I think that's just marriage, period. That's like one of the biggest pieces of a successful marriage is communicating. And it can get lost in the wash just because it gets so used to coming and going, So, I think my job has changed since COVID a couple times, and I've landed at a place and I've started to advance. Well, of course, we know when that happens, your life changes. You have to be in certain meetings. You have to do some different things versus, I'll be able to be at work at 8. My lunch is at 12. I'm off at 4. And now, I may try to be at 8, and some nights I'm getting off at 6. Not that I'm
coming home and logging back in.
I'm coming home and logging,
and
working till 10.
Yeah, that's new.
And I'm working, and I work out in Dallas. So, I work off of 75 in Campbell. So traffic every day is bad regardless. So sometimes it's no point in me leaving at 4 o'clock because I'm still going to get home at 6.
Yeah, dang.
So
75.
Traffic
I'm
is
sitting
bad.
here thinking, y'all,
of
how these little bitty tweaks can have a very impactful cause on your marriage. Just something
little
simple like that. Like, now I ain't gotta go to no practice. I can miss this traffic and I'm just gonna stay here. And now it's like, but you still at work. So
or
what
come
I'm
home.
hearing is, if you don't already like your spouse once them kids leave,
it's gonna be rough.
It's about to be challenging.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you got trust issues,
it's gonna be challenging.
It's about to go to another level.
If you had any type of issue, I'll say trauma, marriage issue, something that came about maybe early on and you didn't work that out,
I saw somebody post that whatever has not been worked out, you're going to be forced to deal with it when it's just y'all two.
And you be amazed at how much you overlook because of the kids. You be amazed how much you overlook. You like, he on one today, whatever. Yeah. And you just go on, but not realizing, for me, that overlook that I did for so many years of certain things, I think with G, has come back. And I'm like, oh, that was him changing. And I didn't even recognize it because I was so engrossed in being cheer mom, being on cheer booster club and doing the banquet. And he went through something and I missed it. Instead, I just went through, he tripping this week. I'll let him have his moment. He on his man's like, how we do. But in reality now, looking back, I'm like, ooh, I missed that. And he was changing and I didn't even support it, or I didn't. So my thing was, now is there a little resentment because I didn't support you with that when I should have probably been there? So I think for me, I'm doing a little bit of catch up with G sometimes, just trying to, I think it's the counselor in me, go back and think about when something happened. And I'm like, oh, that might have been the time. Let me bring that up. I'm going to bring up person, by the way. I'm going back. I'm bringing it up. Hey, remember back when in 2000 you said, what'd you mean by that? And he be like, what? When did I say that?
I probably
You
said it and
said it.
forgot.
Let me pull it up in my phone because I'm a receipt person too. Let me show you when we was arguing or something you had said. And he's like, that ain't what? So I think when you said the little tweaks is big because he was mentioning coming home, and I said sometimes he still has to come in and log in. So we have an office in the front, but we end up when the kids left. And before when he come home and log in and work late, whatever, I'm with the kids, it didn't matter. But now that nobody's there and that silence is there and I hear him and I'm like, I'm bored. We took a piece of our furniture out of the front room and moved it into the office. It's like one of those, what is it, a Chase Lounge thing? The brown piece, you know what it's called?
Just a piece
Chase
of the
Lounge.
couch to me.
Piece of a couch. And moved it into the office. So those nights where he is having to stay and come home and log back in and it's gonna be a while, I can just grab a cover and just lay in there because I'm bored in the room by myself for it. And I would say lonely, but I know he's there. Right. It's not a type of lonely where I feel like nobody's there for me or loves me. It's a type of, I wish he was in here so we could watch this show together. So now I can lay across that, Chase Lounge and be like, at least I'm in here with him. Because I know he's working. I'm not saying too much, but I'm in there. Just being in the same room sometimes makes the difference. Being in it, if that's what you want me to say, yes. Being in his presence makes that difference for me.
Okay, so we're gonna take a hold on, baby. We gotta take a break.
Okay.
And we'll be right back. We got something planned for the couples.
What we got, baby? What we got?
We have a spiritual marriage retreat, you all, and we are calling for at least 7. Last year we had 5, but we're calling for 7 couples that are ready to realign, rebuild, and just reconnect with one another. We need to invest in our love. Date nights are cool, but I feel like date nights are surface level. We just having fun.
Right.
But we need to be able to invest, have fun at the same time, but learn more and more about one another.
Yes.
So we have a spiritual marriage retreat that is going on October the 11th through the 13th, 2024. Why do they need to come to the retreat, baby?
Because you told them to. No. No, seriously. And it's like an oil change for a marriage. Mm-hmm. It could be running smooth. Everything could be going well. I think people get a misconception that your marriage has to be in a downfall. Mm-hmm. It can be simply an oil change, like you said, reconnect, recharge, refocus on us.
Yeah.
Especially when you have children, your focus is all about the kids.
Yeah.
And you forget about this here.
Yeah.
And as well as seeing other couples, connecting with other couples, and then too is an eye opener like, damn, it ain't just us. Oh, that's how y'all got past. That's how y'all did. Oh, okay, baby, we need to. Yeah. All of that. Each time I've been to a marriage retreat, I've connected with brothers. Every time I win. So I enjoy it. I enjoy the one that we went to, and I damn sure enjoyed the one we dang sure enjoyed.
This is a whole commercial.
The one we did. Lord have mercy. Yes.
So we are calling, if you are married or if you engaged,
yes,
join us October the 11th through 13th. You can go to www.spiritualmarriageretreat.com.
And the place is beautiful.
And find all the information that you need. Deposits are only $200 and you can have a payment plan. So we look forward for you coming and growing with us. Welcome back to the Couples Lounge Show. Welcome back. I'm your girl Candace, and this is my husband Remon. If you are just tuning in, we are talking to the Lanes about being empty nesters and the impact that it has on your marriage.
I got a question. What would you say is the most surprising thing there's something that surprised you about being empty nester? Or if anything surprised you? Did anything surprise you? Like, damn, I didn't realize we might have to go or experience this being as empty nesters. Or did you expect everything that you're dealing with?
Oh, no, they're definitely not.
The most surprising.
Probably the most surprising, and I think Candace said this a little earlier, and I've mentioned it a little bit. It's just anything that good or bad, that you haven't dealt with,
Okay.
it's there.
Okay.
You know, if you don't deal with it at that point in time,
Yeah.
I mean, it is magnified and multiplied
Right.
by 1,000
Okay.
because now you ain't got nowhere to run to.
Yeah.
You know,
That,
it's no more distractions.
It's literally
you
just
know,
us.
you come home. If she was mad when the kids left, when you come home, now she ain't out running around taking the kids here or going to this, and you coming in and y'all going crossing paths at about, and you finally settling down at 10 when I was I'm too tired to talk.
Yeah.
Now I got time today.
Yeah.
I got time. You looking at your watch like, okay, I don't care what
Right.
time I ain't tired.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I ain't got nothing to do.
Right.
So I think that's probably one of the most
like that.
surprising things.
Okay.
You know, because you think, oh, she be all right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
nah, she ain't all right, man.
Right.
You got to face this. You got to deal with it. And you can keep trying to push it, kick it down the road or push it to the side and, you know, hope that, oh, she'll be okay.
Right.
Or, oh, he'll be okay. No.
Yeah.
No.
What's one thing that y'all enjoy the most about being empty nester? If you had to say pick one thing, what is it that you enjoy the most?
Can I be honest? Let's be honest. I think that the misconception about empty nesters is now you have all this free reign. You can have sex all over the house. You can, y'all, that's not what it is. Let me tell you, before you were trying to find little pockets of time, kids sleep, you know, even though they're older, whatever, you still just out of respect for your children, you still try to find little pockets of time, or you try to take a weekend off and go get a room, or even though you pay a mortgage, you go and you do all of this. It's not like that no more. You have all the time in the world. You can be wherever, whenever in the house. And now you like, is that what we about to do? We can wait. You don't, it's not a, this is a, oh, we got the time. Let's do it right now. It's more like we can do that later. Come on, we can go do this right now because we like he said, I got time today. We got so for me, I think that was big because I was like, we're no longer trying to find pockets of time to be alone and have those intimate moments. You can just whenever. And I think people think because of that, you're doing it whenever. And you're not. It's still whenever we find the time, honestly. But I think that is a big shocker. And then for me, I think a big piece was the type of, and I'll label it more like depression that I went through both times.
And I remember you saying because you were the title of mom and wife, and now it's Ty.
It's just me. Like I think I told him maybe a few months ago that I probably have stopped going by just the name Lane and just go back to my first name. I've just been Lane because Lane is the last name, easier for people to say. Because I'm Lane. I was just an extension of who he is. I was their mom. And even though I had my own job and own career and teach for forever and counsel for forever, that ain't what I looked at. I looked at my kids and I looked at him. So being what they Lane Squared, basically Lane Squared is all over it. It's labeled on everything I probably own. It's my car, Lane Squared. And here within the last few months, I've been thinking like that's not really just all I am. I'm myself. I had things going on before I met him, before I had kids. But what are those things?
Yeah. So it's a you're going through a self discovery.
Yes, very much, very much. Whereas I think with G, he's kind of always done kind of the things he likes with track and stuff. And everybody's like, oh my God, you guys are so into track and track. Track is not my thing. And I think that surprised a lot of people this year. I think I posted something with, hey, so no, I don't go to track meets unless one of the Lane children are running. And everybody's like, wait, what? Y'all have a track team? No, he has a track team.
Okay. See, I wouldn't have known that.
He has a
I
track
would have
team.
assumed both of y'all were into track like
No.
that.
I
wow.
am.
I did not know
that's
that.
one of those supportive
Pulled
wife
in.
things.
Oh,
She kind of got pulled in.
Yeah, I
Okay.
remember I saw the college picture when you
Yes.
was on the field
On
with
the
him
field with
in
the
college.
camera, and I've always
Yeah.
been kind of on the side. Don't get me wrong, because in college he did run at the Langston University. Don't get it wrong. And I was more of the manager. Like I was on track scholarship, but not for running at all, at all. No, I didn't run in college. So, no, that coach took me under his wing from just knowing my background and knowing things in life. And when I met him, he was a runner. We just kind of linked, and I was the one that drove the van and recorded the meets and things like that, which is kind of like what I end up doing for his team. Though it's not my team, it wasn't a co-lane team.
And it's so crazy because I started to, when I was texting you the other day, I typed lane and then I erased it and I put your name.
And you are the only person in Texas that calls me Ty. You've never noticed. You are the only person that calls me Ty.
Wow.
The only one in Texas. Everybody calls me Lane. I went from being called Marpel, which is my maiden name. When we moved here, we weren't married. I was Marpel, so a lot of the students and parents miss Marpel, to Lane. And it's crazy because a friend of mine at the time, Carol, which is Kia's mom, Denarius Green's aunt, started calling me Lane after I married G. And from there, that's who I've been here in Texas. When that, to me, it's not all that I am anymore.
So talk about that,
I think
depression
that's the big,
a little bit.
It was
because you're experiencing it, but you're experiencing it too because
you are, and not really
absolutely.
knowing that. I think for him, I don't know if he really knew that's what was happening. And it really kind of started before they left.
Did you notice it?
I'm going to say I did, but at the time when it got about that time for Gabriel to leave, like I said, I was transitioning jobs and coming out of working at another company that I'd been at and that whole situation. So I was dealing with my own stuff, and then still trying to be dad, trying to be husband. So noticing it, I can look back and say, I saw it. But at the same time, I had no idea how to support it. I could truly say I have no idea, how to support that except for keep life moving. That's, to me, that's like, okay, well, hey, your comfort zone and stay in it, as opposed to kind of being like, okay, we got to step back for a sec. And let's figure out what's going on. That just, it didn't happen. Like I said, for me, it was more of a, Gabriel leaves, we still got Trent. Yeah.
And he said that. He said that one time.
We still got this. Still got Trent for 2 years. We still got to be here, support her, give her every opportunity we gave Gabriel. Don't stop.
And he said that. I think I was laying in the bed, like I said, I'll call it depression, and it wasn't a breakdown depression sitting in the bathroom crying type, but it was still depression where I still went to work every day, no doubt, but I would come home, take my clothes off, get in the bed and literally be there. And I think one day he said, hey, so Trent still needs you to do the same stuff. And I was like, I know. And he was like, okay, well, so he says he don't really feel like he supported me too much in there, but I think that was a wake up call for me. Hey, you still got another one. You're acting like there's nothing left. So I had to get up and again, go be mom, super mom. So was I over it or through it? No, not at all. And it resurfaced when Trent left. And that let me know it resurfaced when Trent left. Therapy, for sure. I'm a big one on that. It hasn't been all peaches and cream either. Don't let us sit here and be like, oh, this empty nester's life has been good. The kids have been great. They getting these opportunities. We brought Gabriel home. We brought him home, made him stay home a semester because it wasn't aligned with what he said he was going to do. Yeah. And money wise, when you don't get financial aid, and you're paying out of pocket, you still got a little bit of control. They're adults, but they're not.
Yeah.
So you still got a little bit of control when it's your pockets and it's your money paying. So just not what we wanted. And not necessarily what we wanted, but even what he said he wanted for himself. We brought him home. Again, therapy. So, and now he's back. He's thriving. Everything is fine. I'm not depressed like that no more. I'm more on a wave of, hey, they're doing big things. We're doing it. But don't get me wrong. Trent comes home way more than Gabriel does, and every time she leaves, I cry. Every single time. It's not.
Does. She
It
was
don't
just
matter who's there.
home last weekend. We
It
were at
don't
some
matter
friend's
who's
house eating
around.
dinner.
It's
Trin gets
about
her
40
plate
people.
and
Trin
leaves.
got a plate left. Yeah.
And
here I am.
she's bad eyes. I said,
I'm in there.
What do you think that's about?
I don't know. I can't quite. I don't know. Before it was when we would go visit them, and actually, I think it just hit me. When we go and visit Gabe and we leave, I get that feeling like I'm leaving him all over again. When he comes home and leaves us, I have no issue. I have no issue with him leaving. But I think for Trin, like I said, this just hit me. We never go see Trin and leave her. She always comes home and leaves us. So I don't have the difference in her leaving, I think is what it is. I'm going to have to mention that to my therapist when I go next week.
That's true.
I think I just
and
got this.
it does make sense because
sense.
we see Gabriel, we go, he runs track, so we go
We're
couple
still
track
busy.
meets, we go see him, we leave. We don't typically, we're not staying in Oklahoma or wherever we are. But then he comes home, periodically. Okay. But we don't get that opportunity to just go see Trin. Because, of course, she's a student. Very good student, but she's just a student. So she gets the opportunity to come home, but she's coming home. Not so much of us going to see her unless we're picking up and packing up or unpacking.
I'm glad you just had that.
I'm
so
really
glad.
over here
I'm
like
so
keep
glad.
that. You gotta tell when you go. That's it. And I think the journey will be different for parents who do not have active children. Because we still get to move and be a really, really big part of Gabe's life because he does still run track.
And it's close.
And it's close.
Yeah, and it's close.
And then with Trin, even though she's not running track or cheering anymore, she comes home and goes with us to Gabriel's track meets. She comes home and goes to probate show when we go to Langston. Langston's like her other home too,
Yeah, she
so
came home with the homecoming.
we still, she could go to Langston homecoming. So it's still, we're still busy. And I don't know what this journey looks like for parents whose kids are not involved, who decide to just go be students.
Yeah.
So if your kid decides to go and just be a student,
yeah, especially if you were used to being on the go all the time.
I don't even know if I don't know. I don't even know what to say to that because I don't. When I think about it and look back, I don't know if I can handle that. Yeah. Even now, I don't know if I would be able to not be there. For me, it's just, again, I've been lane squared for so long that I think I was going through a they don't need me phase. And so for me, it was, Gabriel don't need me right now. Trin don't need me right now. He has to need me, right? He has to need me. But because over the years, he's been doing things for himself because we've done for the kids, he really don't.
Yeah.
He do, but he don't.
Yeah, you in a whole self-discovery.
I'm in a whole when
moment.
I tell you that, and y'all go to therapy. Trust, I don't know what camera I'm supposed to look at, but
that show is right here.
Therapy. Listen, we as especially Black people have to stop shying away because it's needed and it helps. It helps, I promise you.
I want to ask you something. Yeah. For the husband who sees his wife going through, however the going through looks like, the change, the depression, you said you noticed it. Now on the other side of it, having the realization like, oh yeah, she was. And at first you was just like, just keep going. Because I think men that is, definitely when they don't know how to handle the emotion, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to drop a word. On the other side, what would you tell a husband now, somebody that's going through it right now? How does he attend to his wife?
Okay, so I would say to the fellas, number one, you have to be that attentive, in a marriage. Unfortunately, we can say, we not doing it. No, when you see your wife in a situation where she's crying every day, where she's not talking to you, or really just her habits start to change. It's not just the burden on her to say, okay, hold on, something ain't right. When you see something's not right, don't be afraid of having that conversation. And I think for guys, a lot of times we just don't want to have that conversation, good or bad. Especially if it's going to lead to an argument, we really just like peace and quiet. I know I do, especially at home. I like to be able to come home, life is good. So that conversation could turn into something else, but don't be afraid of it. Because if you're going to be long term with this person, you when you stood up there and said forever, it forever. And unfortunately, sometimes we get so scared of, it'll be fine. So we're just not going to have that conversation. I would say there's nothing wrong with taking a step back and asking the question, have that conversation, and be intentional with what you say. Also, don't just lash out and be like, "Girl, you fine." Obviously, if she's not a crier and she's crying every day, something ain't right. And when you have big changes in your life like this, I mean, clearly something's got to change. It just isn't going to be the same stuff every single day, all the time. Things are going to evolve in your life. I mean, we're always evolving as people. That's what normally happens. So I would say to the fellas, like I said, just don't be afraid to have those conversations. Don't be afraid of the outcome or what may come from it, because it's probably going to be a good thing. But also the in-between part. Don't be afraid of it. There's going to be some rough conversations in there. Don't be afraid. You might actually end up hurting her feelings if you're honest, but don't be afraid of it. Because if this is the person that you say you want to be with forever, everything ain't going to be good. It's not going to be perfect. So don't be afraid of that conversation. When you see it, address it. Because like we said earlier, if you don't address it, it's going to resurface at some point. And a lot of times it's going to resurface at a situation or a point in time where you're like, oh,
where you out of control.
Lord.
It's not in y'all control.
Yeah.
It's a trigger.
There you go.
Now it's definitely going left before it go right.
And then trying to reel it back in.
Yeah.
You talk about therapy.
Yeah.
These are prayers, therapy.
Yeah.
So I would say, try to address it then.
Yeah.
Because, you don't want that to come up again when you're at home in that silence.
Yeah.
And then that's the noise you got.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Silence is
Think
very
about
bad.
that. Think about that. That's the noise you get. That silence, and then or that's that silence.
Yeah.
People say how silence can be deafening.
Yeah.
Silence is loud to me.
It can be loud in some points in time, and in some situations.
Yeah.
You come home and you used to, hey baby, how you doing? How's your day going?
Right. Yeah.
And
But
you look
still in the routine.
But
So
still in the routine
if you
and never
watch
say a word.
Equalizer together, I'm still finna sit down and watch
Sit
Equalizer.
there and watch it, but y'all not
saying a word.
talking, not saying a word, or you watching and you the whole time you just doing this,
Yeah.
and you look up and you
Yeah.
on the phone, or you got your laptop in front of you. Whereas before, that TV time or that time during the week or at the point in time,
moment
it's
you
engaging.
speaking.
You
Yeah,
speaking. Oh, we laughing.
trying to
Did
be-
you see that?
Just trying to be together.
Yeah. It could easily still be in your routine and be right in your face, and you just thinking like, oh. And then you look up and you ain't said a word to somebody in a month that you live with, sleep next to, get up in the morning,
Eat
still
together.
eat together, can go out
Still
to
make
eat
your
together.
coffee.
Yeah, still
Look,
make
still
coffee.
make the coffee in the morning.
And you can look
It's-
up and you
it's
just
a month.
and it's been 2-3 weeks and
Yeah.
you might have said good morning. Hey,
If
and,
you
and
would.
still sending, hey, I'm working late. Still doing
I
all
don't know.
that.
As y'all are talking, it's almost like, let me tell y'all something. If your kids are as they're in high school, everything that they are saying, you better start now. Like, don't wait till they leave to start implementing the things that they are telling you all to do, telling us to do. Like, start the implementation now. Start having the conversations, the challenging or courageous conversations about whatever. Like, this is a real conversation that people need to start talking about. And even if it's baby, I'm concerned about this and thinking about the kids leave, like, go ahead and start talking about it now. Like, before we get to it, let's have a conversation. Although we still gonna have to go through the process. And I know we are pushed for time. Oh my gosh. But you said something about, and all I heard was a function. What did they say? Like a functioning alcoholic, a functioning depressed person because you kept going and it never stopped. But I'm going. But when I get home,
Yes.
I
And I didn't want my
crash.
kids to see it. I didn't want them to feel like they couldn't go.
But how would a woman know that she's in that place? Because we are goers, so that she doesn't crash. How would she know that she might be depressed?
I think your body tells you. I think your body will let you know. Get the weight. My weight started dropping. I end up having to have surgery, a whole hysterectomy with an issue that I probably fought for years. But once that depression kicked in, once I was not moving and just still and just my body was like, hey, like you're not okay. And I post a lot about when I had my surgery that it enlightened me. Whereas some people's like, oh, I had surgery and recovery is terrible and I was down for 3-4 weeks. Me being in that bed for those few weeks when it wasn't me putting me in the bed. So before I was putting myself in the bed because I didn't want to move. I didn't want to get up. Now I'm being forced. I'm like, whoa, wait, this is not what I signed up for. And those 3 weeks brought a lot to the forefront. One, I had to depend on him, who, again, we could be in the house silent and not speak for some weeks, but now I need you. I need all of you because I can't move. You got to help me to the bathroom. You got to help me change these clothes. We got, in things that he did when I had the kids. It's what you do when your wife had a baby. You go and you do all the things. And it was like that all over again for me. And you have to remember that was during COVID. So it wasn't like I could have a whole bunch of friends come over and try to be that for me that I needed him to be. So nobody could do it for me but him. So you either step up and I think that for me, I don't know how other people feel, but for me, I think that was God saying, let me show you who you still have. Let me show you who's still in your corner. And you don't have no choice but to depend on him. You have no choice. And I'm not finna let you. So you don't want to speak? You don't want to speak? I'm finna make you speak. You don't have a choice. And most definitely stepped up to the plate. Like, oh, yeah, this is what we do. And I did have friends reach out even to him to say what y'all need. And once I was done recovery, they was like, girl, your husband was like, we don't need nothing over here. We good. I got this. This is what I do. And hearing that from someone else say, oh, G wasn't having it. G wasn't. I was like, whoa, he is still my man. Like, he's still
my boo thing.
He's still my boo thing. He's still
Absolutely.
He's still him. And I love it. And I was depressed, I'm not gonna lie. But I am taking it now. And I'll love it. Do I leave him behind on some things? Absolutely. Because he tracking. And I'm going. But when we can go together, it's beautiful.
Let me ask this, because baby always she didn't let me talk at all. Okay. Are y'all eating out? Are you cooking much? Are y'all eating
honestly,
out much? Do y'all eat
honestly
out a lot?
speaking, we probably eat out more. We eat out a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I just yesterday she reached in the refrigerator for some juice.
Right.
And when your refrigerator ain't
It
full,
was
it runs all the time. And I said that's because our refrigerator.
I was
is
like, why is
empty.
this juice
Right.
frozen?
It froze
Like,
solid.
there's nothing in there.
It's
I was
nothing
like,
in there.
so it freezes my juice?
So yeah, and it's just because like think about it. You go out with you guys. That bill's a little different when it's 4 or 5 people versus
We can go
Two.
2 for $20 now.
now I can go get an entree. I can get an appetizer. I can actually get an adult beverage
Yes.
and a Sprite,
Yeah.
and our bill is
Yeah, the
still
Sprite.
cheaper
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
feeding one because Gabriel's stomach is,
That's
as y'all
right.
know,
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, my
indeed.
God.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
Him
My
and
son.
Tuck together?
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
and so Gabriel and Trent.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, man, we went out one time. I think first time they were gone, and she asked, "How much was the bill?" I said it was like $15 or $20, and she was like,
oh, I'm mean.
"Really?"
Let's do
I
this.
said, "Yeah."
I'm saying
Normally-
that's one of the things I'm looking forward to. I'm
Yeah.
like, baby.
Listen, that grocery bill.
Yeah.
Oh
We
my
don't grocery
goodness.
shop.
Man, when I
we
tell you
don't
what
Every
we
now
grocery
spend
I think
on
of
groceries, it's ridiculous.
yo, I know,
Oh,
I know
my
it.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we literally grocery shop when it's time when they come
when they come
and
home.
leave.
Yeah.
So when they come, we'll grocery shop. So there's some things in the house, and then when they're leaving, we grocery shop for them to take groceries with them.
Right,
Not to
right,
leave
right,
though.
right,
We
right.
don't. We don't
Yeah,
have.
we good.
Yeah,
Right,
I mean, we
yeah.
make like I think I cooked Monday for the first time probably in 2 weeks.
Wow.
You
And
just
I don't cook.
Wow.
Look, let me look at the camera.
Wow.
I don't cook.
and
I
the
don't
other
know
piece
how.
You're the
is
cook, Gabe.
Yeah,
So-
that's him,
called
G.
you Gabe.
Yeah, that's.
G.
but yeah, so it normally I think, and you know the other thing is like we're discovering things we like to do. I'm still coaching club track, and that's 3 nights a week. So and she has things she started to do that she likes to do, and then again, me being active in fraternity and just have discovering that I have this time and I can go. We're gonna go out. Hey, if she's doing something and I know she's gonna be gone, either her or I will text her, say, hey, grab yourself something to eat.
Grab yourself something to eat. And I'm not
On the way
offended.
home.
He's not offended. Hey, so because I went back to bowling. Oh Lord. So now I'm bowling. So I really already know on Tuesday nights I need to grab myself something to eat because but even in a sense of I want him to do the things he does. He talks about his going back and being active in his chapter. I actually gifted him that. So when I reached out to one of the members, Jamal Williams, and asked him, hey, what does it take for him to be back active? Because I don't know. I'm not in the D9 like you are. And he told me, I was like, how do I pay that? How do I want him to have this so when the kids leave, he has this? Because I knew what I was feeling. So even though he wasn't feeling it, I was still trying to still being that wife, still trying to set him up so he don't feel it. And I'm happy that he's back in it. It has some benefits for me too. Don't get me wrong.
Thank y'all for this conversation.
Yes.
It is
Thanks
very
for
much
having
so needed.
We've been waiting to get on this show.
We
by
have.
the
I
way.
really have.
Yeah, y'all been on the list since we say we were gonna bring guests on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I knew this was something. I didn't know it was needed as much as it was once I posed that question, but God had already put it in the plan. So what's your somebody should have told me? Somebody should have told me is our takeaway from the show. So what would be yours?
Nothing that I didn't know that it's a big adjustment. I just didn't know how big of an adjustment it would be. Listening to them. So yeah.
Okay. And I think for me, I'm like you. I'm already a talker. I already know the things that I desire, but it's almost for me. It's like for real, get intentional.
Yeah.
About the things, because once they leave, if it's what is not addressed, it's going to be addressed. It's like I don't want it to. It's almost like when you know better, do better. Why I'm gonna wait till we get there to start now? So
It'll be at the worst time.
It'll hit the head at the worst.
And you're like,
I should have dealt with it.
Should have dealt with it then.
Right. And they mentioned something about patio time. Take that time to really be together with your significant other. That's something y'all can start now. It's something that I tell our couples. I call it power hour. But just take that time to be together. Be together. Not necessarily doing, just being together. And figuring out what the week is like and what we're going to do and what's on your mind. Y'all better become friends. Y'all better start liking each other now. Yeah. Make it to forever. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure that you subscribe to the page. If you have a question, post a question, and I'll make sure she get it. Tell us about Things with T.
Things with a T was started during COVID. It's actually my daughter's business. We just, customize anything and everything. T-shirts, backpack, cups, tumblers. It don't matter. If you got it, we can do it. So you can find us Facebook at Things with a T or Instagram at Customs with Trend. We will be happy to do whatever you need.
And they quick with it, too. They quick with it. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all
you,
so
Tux,
much
for having us.